Hello guys and welcome back on my channel again. In this video I am starting a new video series in which we will learn about PHP. So PHP is a server-side language which we use to connect our front side with the database, okay, or perform server authentications. PHP is a very powerful language and it provides a lot of features and a lot of things through which we can do a lot of stuff. So this series will cover basic things about PHP, like how we can insert data in our database or using PHP, okay, and how we can update the data and how we can retrieve the data and how we can delete the data and different basic things. And if you want me to make any further videos on this PHP series, so you can comment below and I will make those videos. Okay, so before going to the video, if you want to see the blogs regarding my videos, you can check my website. The link will be in the description. So let's continue to the video. So as I will make PHP videos, so PHP need a server, okay, so you can use an online server or web hosting, or you can use a local server, okay. So as we are practicing it, so I will use local server. So the server I will use is exam, and if you don't know how to download and set up it, tell me in the comment section, so I will make a separate video on this topic, that how we can use exam and as a local server, okay. So for using so I will start this Apache server and my SQL server. So I am starting the SQL server because I have to make a database. So in this video what I will teach you is that I will create a new database and I will connect my front end with the database, and I will make a form and insert data in our database, okay. So this is all we are going to do in this video, so stick with me. So first of all I will make a database. So making a database, click on this admin button, so it will open an admin. So this is giving me an error because I had made some changes in the port. So now it will open. Okay, so this is PHP my admin. In this setup we will make our database. So you can see that I had already made some databases like Royal Kids Schools and college, okay. So I will make a new database in the PHP my admin section. So I will name it as example, okay, and then I will create the database. So you can see that my database has been created, okay. So I will now make a table in our database. So you can create a table directly from there, and you can also write SQL query, okay. You can see that there is SQL query, so you can click on there and write a query if you want to, okay. So I will make directly a database. So let me go back, and you can see that here is it is written that create table. So I have to create a table. So I will name it as user, and I need 3 columns, one for email, second for password, and third for primary key or incremented index number, okay, which will be incremented automatically by the database. I will show you how. So after selecting the uh, table name and number of columns, click on this go button. So you can see that it is asking me the name of columns and different attributes of columns. So I will write ID over here, then name, and then password. Okay, so for the data ID I will keep the data type int, and for name I will change it to text, and for password I will change it to text again, or you can change it to varchar if you want to. So then you have to, I would think I should keep it varchar because user can enter so anything. So I will, if you select varchar, then you have to select a length of password. I will select 50 in case of any, okay, exceptions. Okay, so you don't have to select the length for integer and text because it is already defined. So then leave all of these attributes, then come on this part. Okay, so there is written AI. So AI means automatically incremented. So you have to click check this box and also select it as primary key. Okay, so because our ID will be our primary key. So after doing that, click on save button over here. So now you can see that our database has been created. Uh, Here is ID and there is the name and there is the password. Okay, so if you browse it, so you will see that there is no data because we didn't enter any data in our database yet. Okay, so I will enter the database through the HTML form. So I will show you how. So after doing this, after making a database and a table, open your Sublime text editor. So first of all, I will make an HTML form. Okay, so for making a form, I have to use form tags. If you don't know how to make a form in HTML, or so for that you can check my web HTML series. So for form, I will take two input, one for email and the second for password. So let me show you first. Okay, so you have to save this file in the exam server. Okay, so uh, so it will run because when we use PHP coding in our file, so it won't run if we save it simply. Okay, so we have to save it in our exam file. Okay, so as I had installed exam in my C, you can see that you have to open exam, then you have to go to htdocs. Okay, you can see that here is htdocs. Okay, click open this and you can see that there are a lot of folders. So over here create a new folder and write its name as example, whatever you want to, and open this. Okay, and save your file over here. Okay, you have to give an extension of PHP because it is a PHP file, then save it. Okay, so now I will run this file. So for opening this file, you can't just open it by clicking double click on the file. Okay, as we do in our HTML section, you can see that it is a text file over here. Okay, so if you open it in the browser, it will show the text. Okay, instead of its output because it is a server file. So for that you have to open your server, or I'm sorry, browser. So open a new tab and write over here localhost and then then the slash. Okay, then the folder name. Okay, so folder name is this, in my case it is example. Okay, and then again slash and then the name of file and then .php. Okay, so you can see that localhost. So I am writing colon 8080. It is because I had changed the ports of my exam server. Okay, so if you didn't change the ports of your exam server, so you don't have to write this 8080. Okay, as I had changed the ports, that's why I am writing this 8080. So you can see that localhost slash example, it is my folder name, and then this is my file name. Okay, and then you can enter. So you can see that your form is over here. So let me do a little bit styling. Okay, then save it and refresh the page. So now you can see that it is a bit fine. Okay, let me place a new line between these two. Now I think now this is fine. Okay, now this is fine. So first of all, we have to connect our database, okay, with the front end. So for that, we have to write code in PHP, okay, which is basically our server language. So for writing PHP, the basic syntax is you will place this sign, okay, then a question mark, then you will write PHP. Okay, so this is the starting tag, and for ending you will write again question mark and then this bracket. Okay, so everything you want to write in PHP, you have to write between these two things. Okay, so this is the starting and this is the ending. Okay, so for connecting my file with the database, I need three things. So first of all, I have to know the name of my host. Okay, so that which host I am using. Okay, so in this case I am using localhost. Okay, the second thing you need to know is the name of your database. Okay, so in my case the name is root. Okay, you can see that when I had logged in, so the username is root. Okay, and the last thing you need to know about connecting your front end with the database is the password. Okay, so in my case I had changed my password. Okay, so in your case you don't need to change the password or place a password. Okay, so whenever you will open the XAMPP and admin, so there will be no password uh, by default. So if you want to change the password or create a password, you can create a password, but there is no need of that because it is a local server, no one can access it. Okay, so these are the basic things, three basic things you need to you need to know before connecting your file with the database. Okay, so for that I will make a separate file, okay, on which I will write the connection code, and then I will include that file on my this file. Okay, so I had already created a new file, okay, with the name of connection.php. So you have to save this file in the same folder, folder in which you had saved this file, which is example.php. So for starting, you have to write the same syntax, which is this. Okay, so what you have to do, first of all, you have to write all of the things, you have to save all of the things which is the local host, username and password in variables. Okay, so that's the easiest way. Okay, you can also write it directly, but I will do this way. So you can see that I had write the local host, okay, then the username and then the password. So I had paused the video, so because it is a simple line, so you can pause the video and write it as it is written over here. Okay, so you don't need to change anything in this. Okay, so you just have to write localhost if you are using localhost, and the root, okay, it is a by default name, so you also don't have to change this. And suppose if you are not using a password, okay, so then you can leave it like this. Okay, but I am using a password, so I will write it over here. So the next thing which I have to do is I have to connect this file to my database. So for that I will write to the built-in function, which is my SQLi. Okay, so you can write MySQL, and so in the updated version of MySQL you have to write I with every query. Okay, so if your queries are not running, so try writing the query with I. Okay, then it will run. So there is a built-in function which is MySQLi underscore connect. So write this function. Okay, so in this function you have to pass all of these things. Okay, so as we had saved all of these things in our variables, so just copy and paste these variables over here. So after pasting the variables, so this query will connect our front end with the database. Okay, so as we are doing it in another file, I will check with an if statement that does our if our database has been connected, okay, then perform specific task, or if it does not, then we will end our connection. Okay, and in this part we had only connected our front end with our phpMyAdmin. Okay, so it is connected with this. Okay, so our okay, so I have to write the password again. So for connecting our front end with this specific database, you have to write one more thing. Okay, so we have to connect this with our database. So for that I will first check that if my this query had run properly, then do that, and if it doesn't run properly, then I will die the connection. Okay, so die is another built-in function. So I will save this whole query statement in a variable called link. So link is the most usually variable because we are linking our database. So we will write if my SQLi underscore connect underscore error. So this is another built-in function. Okay, so this is error, which will see that if there is an error while connecting our file with the database. Okay, so if there is an error, then we will end our connection by using another built-in function which is called die. Okay, so we will just write die, and then our any message we want to show that cannot connect. Okay, or anything we want. Okay, so in the else part we will connect our file with the specific database we want to connect. Okay, so now over here we will select our database by writing MySQLi. It is another built-in function, select underscore database. Okay, so first of all we will pass the variable, okay, link variable, because in this the link variable we are connecting our front end with the database. Okay, and now we are selecting our database, so we are showing that select first connect with the database and then select the specific database. Okay, so as our name of our database is example, so you will write the name of database over here. Okay, so now your file has been connected to the database. Okay, so now we will only include our this file, okay, in this file, and then we will perform our coding if we want to code. Okay, so you don't have to write this code again and again. Okay, so for including this connection file in this file, you have to write include. So we will use this built-in function which is include. Okay, then we will write the name of our file, which is connection.php, so now our data front end has been connected to the database. Okay, so now we will insert our data in our database. Okay, so before writing any PHP commands, so I have to make a button. So I forgot the button, so let me just create a button over here. So for button I will again use input, but this time I will use the type submit, and I will also write the name submit. Okay, let me just save it and check this thing. So now you can see that there is a submit button and it's also working. Okay, so now here is our form, and now I have to submit data in our database. Okay, so for that, first of all I will write an if statement that if, and then there is a function that array key exists. Okay, so whenever user will click on the submit button, the PHP part will see that there is any array which is submitted by the user. Okay, so we will use this function which is array key exists. Okay, so in the first part you have to write the name of the button, okay, which is submit. Just copy and paste it. Okay, so or in the second part you have to write the method. Okay, so which method you are using for posting your data. So I will use the method post. Okay, so I also have to define the method on the form. Okay, so come over form and write method and then post. Okay, so this thing will post our data, okay, whenever user will click on the submit button. So now I have to save, I have to insert our data in our database. Okay, so before doing that I will post our this data, password and email, and store it in variables. Okay, so for defining variables in PHP you always use this symbol, dollar symbol. Okay, then you will write the name of variable. So okay, so first of all there is email, and we are posting email. So write this, and inside the post you have to write the name of each input. Okay, so by this name you can post your data in your PHP part. Okay, and then you can store it in database. Okay, so for password I will create another variable name as password. Okay, so now both of our things has been posted. Okay, so if you have any other things in the forms, okay, 10 fields, 20 fields, you just have to post it like the same way. Okay, and it is your choice that you will save those things in variables or not. Okay, so I am saving it because it is easy to use whenever I have to use these variables. So if you don't want to store the data in variables, it's up to you. You can directly use this command, okay, and insert the data in database. So now I will write the query for inserting data in my database. So for that I will first of all I will make a variable with the name of query, so for in which I will save our query. So the query goes like insert into, okay, so first of all I have to give columns, oh I'm sorry, insert into, okay, then you have to write the name of the table. Okay, so that our table name was, so let me just go and check it again. The name of our table was user. Okay, so I will write user, so, insert into user, then you will write the name of columns. Okay, so we have two columns. So for first we will write email. Okay, so you have to write exactly the same name over here which you have specified in the database. Okay, so you can see that you have to write exactly the same spelling, okay, and everything. So let me just see what the spelling I had used over here. So over here I had used name and password. Okay, so I didn't use email. So over here I will write name, okay, and second is password. Okay, as it is name, so I think I should change this name also. So if you want to insert the email, you can use the same thing, as I had created the database with the name, so I am using the name. Okay, so the queries goes like this: insert into user, okay, then we will give the name of columns, okay, then we will write values, okay, then we will give our values. Okay, so as we had stored our values in variables, so just write those variables. Okay, now this is the end of our query, and then we will use these brackets, commas again, and then we will in okay, finish our the whole statement. Okay, so I have to change these columns, commas or inverted commas, what are to single, because it was taking these inverted commas as ending commas. Okay, so this is the starting and this is ending. Okay, so after writing this query, you have to run this query. Okay, so for that you will use the again built-in function, which is MySQLi query, MySQLi underscore query, then brackets, then you have to pass the link variable again. Okay, so as which we had defined in our connection file, and then you have to pass the query. Okay, so this is the query. Okay, so now our insertion page has been ready. So what this page is doing, page is taking an email, okay, so name from the user and a password. Okay, then it is submitting the password in okay, with the button, and on the PHP section what we are doing, we are posting the data and then we are sending it our database. Okay, so let me just save it and run it. Okay, so now you can see that our form is ready. So let me just write name, okay, and then I will write the password, which is 12345, and then I will submit it. Okay, now let's go to the database and check if the data has been entered. So now you can see that our data has been saved in our database, and you can see that the IT has been automatically entered, okay, which is 1. And if you want to enter a second data, let me just enter a second data. So write this name and again some password, and then click on submit and go to the database and refresh the database. Okay, now you can see that this is the second entry. So this is how you can create a form. Okay, so by using this logic, you can create a login form and any other forms you want to make. Okay, so you can make any forms, okay, submit forms, and any other thing. So if you want to make some specific advanced kind of form, you can see my project video. Okay, so on that I had made some forms, okay, and I had shown you the code in the video. So if you have any confusion, you can see that video and you can create an amazing forms. Okay, so this is all for this video. In the next video I will show you how we can retrieve data from the database. Okay, so if you have any questions, so comment down, so I will answer those questions. And if you want to see the blogs regarding my videos, check my website. So this is all for this video. Thank you.